Hello third graders, this is Mrs. Copeland and I'm a math teacher in Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools. I'm going to be helping you with third grade memory joggers. Let's take a look at week 9, day 3, problem A. About how much does an adult weigh? 120 ounces, 120 feet, 120 pounds. Miss Edwards has 7 bottles of punch. Each bottle has 2 quarts of punch. How many quarts of punch does Miss Edwards have? We have a few things we need to remember. We use inches, feet, and yards to measure length. We're answering how long is it? The width of 1 quarter is about 1 inch. The length of a piece of copy paper is almost 1 foot long. The height of a doorknob is about 1 yard. We use pounds and ounces to measure weight. How heavy is it? 1 slice of cheese weighs about 1 ounce. 1 can of beans weighs about 1 pound. We use cups, pints, quarts, and gallons to measure capacity. How much will it hold? 1 school milk carton holds about 1 cup, a regular dinner glass holds about 1 pint, and a tall water bottle holds about 1 quart. A large jug of milk holds 1 gallon of milk. Okay, so our first question asks about how much does an adult weigh. So we know that we use pounds and ounces to measure weight. We have 3 different choices. One is in ounces, one is in feet, and one is in pounds. Well, feet doesn't even measure weight. Feet is used to measure how long something is, so let's go ahead and mark that one out. We know that one can't be true. So then we have to decide, would it make more sense for an adult to weigh 120 ounces or 120 pounds? Now, an ounce is like a slice of cheese. So 1 slice of cheese is pretty light, isn't it? But we've got a big number like 120 right there. So let's think about it for a minute. If you buy a pack of cheese slices, that whole pack usually has about 24 in it. So, and we know it takes 4 25s to make 100. So if you were to put 4 packs of cheese, it would be almost like having 25, 25, 25, and 25. So that would be almost 100 there. And if we were to put 1 more on there, that would be 125. So imagine if you had 5 packs of cheese, of 24 packs of cheese. Would that be like the weight of an adult? No, that wouldn't be like the weight of an adult. You could probably carry that, but a lot of adults you probably couldn't carry. So it would 120 ounces doesn't make that much sense. Also, if you think about your weight, you might weigh 50 to 70 pounds. It could be a little bit different from that, but around 50 to 70 pounds. So it would make sense for an adult who's older and a full size to weigh about 120 pounds. Miss Edwards has 7 bottles of punch. Each bottle has 2 quarts of punch. How many quarts of punch does Miss Edwards have? So we know that there's several bottles, and each of those bottles is going to have 2 quarts. And there's going to be 7 bottles. So one way that we could figure this out would be to add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So that's adding 2 7 times. Another way to record that as a third grader would be 7 times 2. Now, you could skip count on this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and skip count to 14. An easier way for you to figure this out, if you weren't quite sure about 7 times 2, is to use the commutative property and switch this and think of this as 2 groups of 7, or 7 plus 7. That doesn't represent the same problem because it's actually 7 twos, but because we know that when we change the order of 2 factors when we're multiplying, that's called the commutative property, it doesn't change the amount. So we could also write 7 times 2 as 2 times 7 to help solve it, not to represent the problem, but to help solve it. So 2 times 7 would be 7 plus 7, and that is 14. And that would be a quick way to figure it out if you weren't sure about what all those 2's would be. And we're going to remember that we do always want to write the unit of measure when we're answering a measurement problem because it makes a big difference about whether we're talking about cups, pints, quarts, or gallons for this. Thank you, and if you have additional questions about this problem, please ask your classroom teacher.